Hello and welcome to the First Rate Podcast, a weekly conservative news show brought to you by Restoration of America. I'm your host, Jerry Ewald, Chief Marketing Officer for Restoration of America. And today we are blessed to have Neal Harmon, CEO of Angel Studios, which offers enlightened content to families across the country, an alternative to woke entertainment. Angel Studios has produced powerhouse hits, including the latest theatrical release, Sound of Freedom, based on a true story. Neal, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jerry.
Well, it's before we get into all the work that you've been doing, especially your latest film. Can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you came to be founding of Angel Studios?
Oh, that's a loaded question. So, started Angel Studios, this company, in 2013 because 4 brothers and a cousin, we all had young children, and we wanted to solve the problem of great storytelling that was consistent with our values with our young children. That's why we started it.
Yeah, plain and simple. And there's not many other options out there that kind of fits what Angel Studios does. So makes a lot of sense. So Neal, I'll get right into it. I mean, everyone wants to know about the latest film, The Sound of Freedom, and I want to congratulate you first on a successful opening on Independence Day, July 4th. And I understand that you've exceeded some of your expectations on ticket sales, so I want to congratulate you for that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, we're so excited that this message is spreading quickly.
Yeah, I think there's a definite reason of why the ticket sales are so fantastic right now. So I'd like to roll the trailer right now.
How many pedophiles you got?
288.
How many kids you found?
It is the fastest growing international crime network that the world has ever seen. It has already passed the illegal arms trade, and soon it's going to pass the drug trade. Because you can sell a bag of cocaine one time with a child 5 to 10 times a day. God's children are not for sale.
How long you been doing this?
12 years now.
How many pedophiles you got?
288.
How many kids you found?
Timoteo, tú rescatas niños, ¿verdad? ¿Puedes ayudarme a encontrar a mi hermana?
Te lo prometo.
For Homeland Security, you know we can't go off rescuing Honduran kids in Colombia.
Which means she'll disappear for good. Imagine walking into her room right now, seeing an empty bed. What we do?
You quit your job, and you go and rescue those kids.
So at this moment, she could be a block down the road, or she could be in Moscow, Bangkok, LA. She's a major operator.
It's all rebel territory. No one goes in. Not the army, not the police, not us.
What if this was your daughter?
There's no Marine unit coming.
You're on your own. This job tears you to pieces. And this is my one chance to put those pieces back together.
When God tells you what to do, you cannot hesitate.
An estimated 2 million children are trafficked every year, and we can help them. Sound of Freedom is based on a true story about real-life heroes saving kids from the dark world of child trafficking. We know this is heartbreaking and it hurts to look at, but the first step in helping these children is hearing their story. Not enough people know this problem exists, and even fewer people are willing to do anything about it. Our goal is to inspire 2 million people to attend the film's opening weekend, to represent the 2 million trafficked children around the world. To spread the word, Angel Studios set up a Pay It Forward program where you can pay for someone else's ticket who might not otherwise see it. If the ticket price is stopping you from attending, claim your free ticket at angel.com/freedom. Sound of Freedom opens the week of July 4th. Every parent, every adult, and every teenager in America should be there to see it. If millions of us come together today to see this film, we could propel the movement to help save millions of children around the world. And you can send the message that God's children are no longer for sale.
Well, in fact, we just got news that this movie received an A+ cinema score rating, and audiences are receiving this movie with standing ovations. It's really remarkable what's happening. And this movie was made. It was started 8 years ago, and it was finished about 5 years ago, but it wasn't able to make it to market until Angel Studios picked up the movie, and the audience, backed this movie to help it go to theaters. And it's fitting that that's the way that it's going to market. But also, I think that there's something in God's timing as well, because society has become more aware of the problems of trafficking of children. And 5 years ago, people would think, no, that's just make-believe. And today, people look at it and say, no, this is real, and this is happening right in our backyard. The distribution rights were owned by Fox, and Fox was acquired by Disney. And Disney said, we can't release this film. And then when the producer, Eduardo Verástegui, got the rights to the film back, COVID hit. And so they lost another set of years. And the rights became available in early March, and we signed a contract after meeting within 5 days. It's been miraculous once we've come together, how quickly this has all come together.
Well, and you touched on, I think, the key phrase here. It's God's timing. So I would say that it wasn't the right time to release that movie a couple of years ago, but the time is right now. And I love the fact that this is crowd-funded, which means people have a vested interest in moving this movie forward. So it's a very different model that you guys have built. Can you explain a little bit about that?
That's right. Angel means ownership. So Broadway was started by a bunch of angel investors who wanted to improve the world through the arts. And Angel, our company, angel.com, it was named after the people who are making these shows possible. Dry Bar Comedy, which gets over 1 billion views a year, is stand-up comedy that's funny for everyone. The Chosen, which has over 500 million views, it was crowdfunded by these people, by the angel investors. And same with Sound of Freedom. They are the ones who helped bring this to market. They're the ones who decided that this show amplifies light and that it's extremely well made. And so they, when people have a vested interest in something, then they talk about it, they share it with their family and friends more. So it's a lot more powerful to get your marketing funds from over 7,000 people who are all talking about it than from one big studio or one big bank who is, gets to decide whether or not they're going to support your film. And sometimes the elite don't want to support films like this, but the people, they do. They know that this needs to be supported.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right on with this. In child trafficking, what a horrific topic to be discussing, but something that needs to be thrust into the mainstream media right now, and that's exactly what you're doing.
Yes, with all of your help. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it's our pleasure, and we're really grateful for what you're doing. So once someone sees the movie, I think it's going to be absolutely shocking for them. And what could they do to learn more about this, but also make a difference?
Well, the first thing is to go to the movie. There are a lot of people who are on the fence about going to the movie because they don't feel they'll be able to handle it. This movie is inspiring. It is a heroic thriller, and people come away with hope, with a sense of hope and that they can do something about this. So go to the movie. Also, you can support building awareness for this film and for the plight of these children by going to angel.com/freedom. All the information's there. And then you can learn more about helping with child trafficking and prevention for your own children by researching this topic. So you are so right that the time is now that we address this and end it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you're talking about bringing light into the world, and you guys are most famous for The Chosen, obviously right now, but there's a big story behind that, right? So I think you've been attacked, a lot of doubters out there, a lot of streaming services and production companies kind of coming against you, and there's a great story behind The Chosen and how that's such a comeback story. Do you mind sharing a little bit about that?
So yeah, The Chosen, when Dallas Jenkins made The Shepherd, he took it to studios and they rejected it. And then we learned about it and we put it in front of the people, the audience, and they embraced it. And they funded season 1 of The Chosen. And after season 1 of The Chosen was made, we struggled for a time to get it to market, but then we got some inspiration on the pay it forward model where people could pay for others to be able to see The Chosen. And then The Chosen has just exploded in growth. And they are currently filming season 4 in Goshen, Utah. And it's a phenomenal show, and it's a global success.
Well, it's a really impactful story, right? Because it is the story, the life of Jesus Christ and his ministry, and what it does is it gives you an opportunity to kind of almost experience what it would have been like to interact during that ministry, and it puts the viewer in the position of that ministry and really kind of brings it to life. So I think you've done a fantastic job of doing that.
Thank you very much. Yes, the gratitude goes to Dallas and his team for making a show that you love so much, and Angel Studios that you know about it. So that's how we partner. We partner with great filmmakers, and then help amplify the stories that they're telling.
Amplify the stories. So so we got Sound of Freedom, we got The Chosen, we got many other programs on Angel Studios. Tell us a little bit about what's next and what we can expect out of the studio, because there's got to be so many directions you can go in, and I love what you're saying. You're sharing the light that's so desperate in this world today. So what's next?
Well, you'll see 2 films that are trailered in front of Sound of Freedom. One is a biopic about Mother Cabrini, who helped the Italian immigrants in New York and was the first American saint. And another is a sci-fi thriller that is faith-friendly called The Shift. And it is a trip like you won't understand until you see it, but in our test screenings, it is scoring extremely high, and we're very excited about it. So The Shift comes out in December, and Cabrini comes out in March.
And these are all for theater movies, or to your streaming platform?
These are going to the theaters.
Okay, so there's a little bit of a shift there. You're not. I'm sure it'll be on your platform at some point, but you're now looking at mainstream theaters to kind of spread the word outside of the streaming channel.
Yes, after His Only Son's success in the spring, we learned that these stories get more cultural clout. They become more part of the public consciousness when they go to theaters, and filmmakers, they want to see their work on the silver screen. So this is a new strategy for us, and it's one that we're very excited about. We're excited about our theater partners, and we're excited about the community who shows up to sit shoulder to shoulder, laugh together, cry together, and celebrate these stories together.
There's something to be said about going to the theater and experience it on the big screen, as opposed to sitting in front of maybe your iPad or phone, right?
Yes.
Well, again, I want to go back to your mission here, right, which is just really spreading the light of God. And so how do people get more involved in what you're doing?
That's a great question. The best way to get involved is to go to angel.com and start watching the shows that this community has built. And then if you feel inspired, be part of these stories that amplify light. These are stories that are true, honest, just, noble, authentic, and excellent. And you can participate by investing in these stories before they launch. You can participate by paying it forward, by buying merch that's associated with these stories, and giving the filmmakers a feedback through the Angel Guild. So the Angel Guild is a membership that all previous investors are part of, where they get to decide what comes to Angel next. They decide whether things are good enough to go to the theaters or good enough to come to Angel, and whether they amplify light. And we felt like it was important to build a company that where the central, like, it's not centralized control, it's actually the people who get to maintain the quality level and the values of Angel Studios.
What a great way to build engagement by allowing people to participate. Not only give feedback to some of your directors and producers on the content that they're seeing and want to see in the future, but also allowing people to invest and pay it forward so that other people can watch and experience this content as well.
Yes, and we're so grateful to the community. They have really showed up for this mission and for the stories that we've published so far.
Well, Neal, what a fantastic business model that you have, not just from a business perspective, but the engagement that you're getting, and again, the mission that you're after, which is really to spread freedom and the word of God. And we're just so grateful for that. So I want to thank you for all that you're doing. May God continue to bless you and Angel Studios and the work that you're doing.
May he bless you as well. Thank you for getting this story out to everyone at this time.
All right, well, that's our show for today. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting conservative media. Don't ever forget, by working together and staying diligent, we conservatives can bring our country back to true greatness. Until next week, let's all keep praying that God will continue to bless America.
First Right, a new kind of news summary without the liberal slant. Every morning, in your inbox, always free. Subscribe by texting First Right to 30161. That's First Right, all caps, one word, to 30161.